Продолжаем. Встретили раз Кокобылу, Гануша. И они увели Пачика отдохнуть. А мне, как всегда, работать. Ну ладно. Так, для начала давайте съездим. Куда мы съездим? Нам надо постираться, потому что у меня обаяние уже не очень. Да и пахну невкусно. Привал. Не, мы продолжаем путь.
Hog here, freshly slaughtered, pork belly, shoulder, lead.
Отлично, шмотки хотя бы постираем. Мне кажется, все пугаться будут от меня. Отлично, ну что, стало получше? Много получше. Все как и надо. Так, давай посмотрим, что это за капюшон. Не, он вообще не очень, если честно, выглядит. Давай посмотрим, что у нее есть.
Was darf's heute Morgen sein?
What do you have for sale?
Мне вот не нравится, что серого нигде нету. Хотелось бы серый какой-нибудь купить, если бы честно. Так, подожди-ка, давай вот эту купим стёганую по поводу
Danke
пряжи.
und viel Glück für die Zukunft.
All right.
Хочу посмотреть, как она будет выглядеть на коне.
What are you doing, you listener?
Ну, блин, так себе, если честно. Подходит, конечно, но вот если бы зад еще закрывался. Ладно, пока что без этого.
Gott segne dich, mein Herr.
Я думаю, где-нибудь найдем. Так, мне бы поспать, если честно. Давай спросим насчет основного, точнее, дополнительного задания.
God. Greetings. What do you need?
What's going on around here?
And you know how I was telling you about that Pavel from Vysoka? The one they flogged here?
What about it?
Well, they had good cause.
Why is that?
Can you believe he robbed the whole village blind and vanished? Nobody knows where to. And now the Suchdol captain is searching for him. And that's about it.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper.
God be with you, good sir.
Подожди-ка, это не тот Павел, которому мы помогли? Он просто, получается, слинял и пофиг на ту девушку или что? Интересно, слушай, интересно. А, во, видишь, тут даже новое задание появилось. Кстати, поехали, мне все равно отоспаться нужно. Уже энергия на исходе, а там выполним, может, задание какое-нибудь.
Quick!
Good to see you.
Не успел ответить ему. Ладно. Так, а где тут задание? Интересно, на карте даже не показывается. С кем говорить надо. Говорить не надо. И ладно, давай пока что поспим, а там уже разберемся.
God in heaven, you're seeing this.
Это за книжка вообще такая. Так, сейчас будем искать задание забрать. Так, давай посмотрим. И тут... Мне кажется, он просто где-то торчит.
Brave Krieger. Ganz brav.
I heard you've been looking for a thief.
You heard right. He's a laborer from nearby village, Vysoka. What was his name now? Yes, Pavel, that's it.
What was it he stole?
A few small valuables, some boots and a book.
Да, это, наверное, тот пацан, которому я помог.
How did you find him out?
Well, he disappeared just after the robberies.
Well, it had to be him. You can't hide thieving in such a small village.
I agree. Supposedly a poor boy, and he disappears overnight without a word of farewell. Might as well have confessed.
Where might he have gone?
In these parts? Only Kuttenberg.
How can you be so sure?
On account of that book he stole, he wouldn't be able to sell that anywhere else.
Supposing I try and find him.
You'd be pulling a thorn from my side. You think I've got time to run around Kuttenberg looking for some petty thief?
So I'll have a look around and try to find him. Maybe he tried to sell someone that loot.
I was thinking that too. If I was you, I'd ask one of the traders in Kuttenberg about him.
Это уже будет интересно. Справедливости. Так, а тут вообще коник есть? Можно мне что-нибудь купить или нет? Наверное, тут коника все-таки нет. А нет. Так, поговорить можно? Или ты не продаешь ничего? Видимо, не продает ничего. Ладно, поехали тогда. Так, еще на карту может посмотрим. Еще какое-нибудь задание возьмем. Хотя не знаю, есть ли смысл туда ехать, потому что сейчас темно будет. Давай остановимся, кто там.
What are you looking for?
Ah, I found this parchment close by, and if you ask me, it's a map to, well, something.
What, exactly? You can't leave me hanging like that.
All right, well, I'm hoping it's a treasure map that will lead me to my fortune.
Well, how about you show it to me? I'm pretty familiar with these parts. I might be able to help you.
Well, all this wandering has made my feet sore, but you'll give it back straight away. You got that? Or I'll lose my temper.
Don't worry.
Давай посмотрим, что за карта. Если честно, не запомню ее. Так, вот он.
So, what's it going to be?
Интересно.
Give it back, you hear me?
Да все отдаем.
Here you go. I can't help you, I'm afraid. It doesn't ring any bells.
Thanks anyhow. I'll keep looking.
Да понятно вроде бы, где это. Ты знаешь где. Где я был в этих развалинах. Только я вот не помню. Так, давай посмотрим тут. Вот, руины Рапштейна. Там были, и вот где-то вот тут, что ли, искать. Да ладно, ничего странного, не страшного, пусть ищет сам.
Quick!
Мне, в принципе, пока что эти сокровища не нужны. Мне бы вот, если честно, немножко научиться пару приемчиков. Фехтование, чтобы, если что, знаешь, какой-нибудь неплохой этот использовать комбинацию.
Quick!
Так, куда я вообще путь держу? Далековато еще до туда. Так, еще никто не спит, может получится забрать задание. Так, нам сюда. А, кстати, тут есть кони. Кстати, я могу у него какую-нибудь попонку.
How goes it, innkeep?
Shitty. Absolutely shitty, just so you know. Exactly same shit as yesterday. And I can't wait to see how shitty it's gonna be tomorrow.
What happened?
Ugh. A pack of filth has taken a liking to my tavern. They come in here like they own the place. Make a mess and steal. They hold nothing sacred. The poor women have to lock themselves away. They're godless swine.
And the guards do nothing about it?
Phew. Without orders, they won't do a thing. And Lord Buresh, who pulls the strings round here, may be a good customer, but won't lift a finger as the year is long.
Then how many of them are there? Maybe I can help you get rid of them. For a few groschen.
Lad, you'd need a company of pikemen for that. There's only 6 or 7 that come in here. But I hear they have a camp in the woods, and who knows how many of them are there?
So a large band.
A band of brutes, led by a fella they call Eggman. And he's a right brute. Former soldier, they say.
Eggman? What kind of a name is that?
They say he can crack your head open like an egg with a single blow. But I figure it's because he stinks like a rotten egg. Got breath like a beggar's ballsack. I can always smell his band coming a mile away.
I'll take care of that riffraff.
By yourself? What are you gonna do?
These bands usually don't last long without a leader. I suspect if I get rid of Eggman, the others will leave you be.
Damn it, lad. You certainly have some courage. Taking them on alone, but if you managed, it would help me greatly.
You said something about a camp where they hide. Do you know where it is?
Yeah. They're always yelling at me to go and get them there, if I've got the balls. You must go northwest from the village, across a stream and then around the big yard where the smelters are. A bit further, still in the same direction, is a little woods in the middle of a meadow. That's where those bastards hide.
Hold on. I know that camp.
Really?
And there used to be an odd group there. Also bandits, led by a fellow with an arrow in his head. But they're long gone. Your Eggman must have occupied it after them.
Well, excellent. Then you know where to go. But there's still one more thing. I got myself a little potion. I wanted to pour it into their drinks. Next time those swine show themselves. You know what I mean, right? To get rid of them. Maybe you'll find it handy.
Fine. I'll take it. Anything else?
Yeah. Once you take care of Eggman, bring me some proof. Not that I don't trust you, just so I can sleep calmly at night.
Ah, fear not. I'm thorough at my work. And what kind of proof do you have in mind?
I'll leave that up to you. You'll certainly think of something. Just don't bring me any cut-off ears. Got it? So, good luck, and be careful.
My
Что,
respect.
пойдем туда искать этот лагерь. Я, в принципе, знаю, где он.
Go!
Так, давай читерный рывок включу.
Go! Go!
Так, по-тихому я не хочу разбираться. Будем с них биться. А где-то тут он вроде бы должен быть лагерь.
Whoa, whoa.
Давайте по одному подходите, будем разбираться с вами. Что сделать? Что сделать? Алло.
Clear off!
Получай. Пять башка не страдает. Это плоховато.
Die for that, you bastard! A death for a death! Burn in hell!
Блин, их очень много, мне вот это не нравится.
Show your stuff!
Давай, давай. Ну, ребят.
Do it!
Ha! You never saw that coming! I'm all yours!
Блин, это фигово, это реально фигово, слишком их много.
Useless!
Всё, давай следующий.
I've been waiting for you.
Да ну нафиг. Эти дубинки, если честно, они вообще доспех рубят неплохо.
Show what you're made of! I've been waiting for you.
I feel quite hungry! What do you want? Victory or death?
Show what you're made of! You son of a bitch!
No!
Show your stuff! Show what you're made of! Show your stuff!
By God's will, die!
Tough shit, fucker! Aye! Kurva! I'm moving! You're boring me. try a little.
А ё-моё, надо быстрее настолько коленку лупить. Быстрее, 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 капустка папы. Повезло, что я справился. Было, конечно, тяжеловато, если честно. Так, сейчас мне нужно перевязать голову, чтобы по голове нормально получил. Доспех, конечно, если честно, неплохой. Все, отлично. Так, настрой колена мне нужен. Было, конечно, тяжело. А что у меня вообще по доспехам? Блин, надо чинить будет. Реально чинить. Ладно, ничего страшного. Так, давай все тогда потихоньку собирать, что можно продать.
Better not forget about that council assembly.
Да не забудем мы про это. Я пока туда просто не хочу идти. Так, а где все тела лежат? Я просто не помню, где кого было. А у них, в принципе, ничего такого и дорогого нету. Кажется, так. Сотни копыт будут. Вот они, говорю, вот эти главы, там всякие топоры, они неплохо доспех прорубают. Из-за этого я по башке нормально так получаю. А если, допустим, у них были бы у всех мечи, они бы фиг меня пробили, я думаю. Так, давай в лагере тогда посмотрим, что тут есть. А, ну понятно, тут, в принципе, ничего не положили. Другая шайка обосновалась. Так, давай поспим. Я надеюсь, основное задание не будет провалено, если я буду так гулять. Что там такое, барбос? Скрыть замок средний был же открыт. Что за бред такой? Блин. Отойди, барбос.
Here you go. Take it.
Поешь. Так, давай мы поедим чего-нибудь. Блин, что за бред? Ясно. Да, последний раз попробуем, если такая же фигня будет, но нет смысла пробовать, короче. если сброшу, будет по-другому. Ладно, погнали обратно в деревню, расскажем. Про выигрыш официально.
Go!
Hey! You nearly
Go!
ran into me!
Quick! Ka! Whoa! Whoa!
Hey? Ah. So you're doing
Что за дела такие, что все еще спят, что ли? Ребята, вставайте, уже 8 часов. Что, где он находится? Зачем?
I ought to go and see Rosa. She'll be expecting me.
What can I do for you?
So I was in Eggman's camp.
Damn! I'm glad you're still alive. Was it bad there? What about Eggman?
You need not fear him any longer. He's taken care of. I brought you his hat, so you'll believe me.
Fuck's sake! That's Eggman's pilgrim hat!
He was a pilgrim.
Bollocks! He was a murderer, but that band of his caught a pilgrim. They forced him to walk around the camp until he collapsed from exhaustion. Just like that. For entertainment. Can you believe it? Then Eggman stole his hat.
Damn. Well, now it's yours.
Thanks. I'll wear it in honor of that poor, tormented fellow.
And how about holding a mass for that pilgrim? If he suffered so much on this earth, you could help him on his way to God, right?
That's a very good idea. Thanks, friend. Here's your reward. You deserved it. And may God be with you.
I ought to go and see Rosa. She'll be expecting me. And I mustn't...
Ну хорошо, сходим, что ты паришься.
I ought to go and see Rosa.
Ладно, если он так говорит все время, поехали тогда туда уже. Еще надо найти этого Павла. В принципе, тут я говорю, основных, точнее, дополнительных заданий мало осталось, я почти все выполнил. Если так по карте посмотреть, уже ничего-то и не осталось. Может, уже по основным идти. А тут только остались, я говорю, дополнительные. Еще надо будет сходить в этот подземелье. Так, ладно, поехали тогда. Так, как раз мне нужно кое-что продать.
for some fine wear.
Так, давай не что-нибудь.
Good day to you.
This could use some repairs.
Some wonderful horseradish.
Excellent. What do you need, sir?
What do you have for sale?
Да, ничего. Такого интересного.
Nothing to your liking.
Has anyone tried to sell a ring or a rosary here? Or a medal? Or boots?
Nothing of the sort. I don't deal in such things.
And who does?
How should I know? Common trader? Try asking one of them.
Хорошо, поспрашивай.
Apples! Juicy apples! Yellow
Beautiful.
and red! some apples.
Greetings, sir.
What do you have for sale?
Почему у него ничего спросить нельзя? Блин, вот есть простой капюшон, серый, да, вот мне бы вот такой же, только вот какой-нибудь такой крутой. Нигде такого нет.
What can you do, sir?
Это обидно.
Maybe next time then.
Что ж,
Come and take a gander. We've got it all.
по броне.
How can I help you today, friend?
Давай продадим тебе что-нибудь.
Come and take your pick.
What do you have for sale?
Thank you, sir. And come again.
Так, подожди-ка.
Please.
Что я еще что-нибудь ему продам? С лошади собрать можно.
Big and small.
Show me your wares.
Хотя, блин, у него, как всегда, денег не хватит ни на что. Ну, не хватает, слушай.
I was glad to be of help to you, good sir.
Подожди-ка, давай знаешь, как сделаем? Да, я, конечно, денег не получу за это. Давай просто все починим, то, что у меня есть. Тогда ему продадим.
What would you like?
I need something repaired.
7000, нифига себе.
Great. Happy to be.
What do you have for sale?
Умница.
I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
On the market. Come and take a
Do
look.
Your shopping some fine wares. Come and take your pick.
Плохо. Так, а тут еще какого-нибудь броника нет? Случайно.
Don't be shy. Come closer and take a look.
Пец, пца,
Quality goods here. Apples, yellow and red.
Ты мне вообще не поговоришь. Так, давай до броника дойдем. Ладно же, учишься,
Come and
немножко
take your
прокачаем.
pick. New wares.
Don't be coy. My wares will bring you joy. How? When he's as deaf as a post. Anyway, that's where I dumped the shit. Because that's where
Спокойно,
you.
не ругаемся. То стража вас успокоит. Так, тут что-нибудь сольем. Я еще не зашел, а лучше будет танк.
Gepriesen sei der Herr. What do you need?
What do you have for sale?
Danke. Das war ein gutes Geschäft, mein Herr.
Это плохо, конечно.
Wie geht's, mein Herr?
I'll have a look at the wares.
Давай, знаешь, что сделаем? Денег у меня и так много. Смысл мне с них? Может, черный какой-нибудь, реально миланский панцирь купить, все черное сделать. Такое было бы классно. Перчатки у меня какие? Хм. Так, дай посмотреть. Так, если продавать. Какие они у меня? Светлые вроде бы, да? Ну не, они у меня такие же вроде бы, как и там, не? Так, покупать тогда мы это не будем. Нам это не надо. Вот такие можем, в принципе, купить. Но у меня миланские круче или нет? Дай посмотреть. 126 миланские. Давай возьмем панские. Почему нет? Тут 134 просто. Черные возьмем.
Danke und viel Glück für die Zukunft, mein Herr.
Давай посмотрим. Ну да, немножко получше, конечно. Мне бы вот еще, говорю, латные наручи купить черные. Перчатки вроде бы у меня и так черные. Давай посмотрим, как я выгляжу. Да вроде бы так же.
What do you have for sale?
Так, давай тогда продать то, что у меня есть. Отлично, как раз и навыки еще прокачиваем потихонечку. У меня 23 тысячи, нифига себе. А, еще, по-моему, так, давай еще починим.
Good day, sir.
This could use some repairs.
Excellent. It was a pleasure doing business.
Блин, а что за бред такой? А вроде бы черный, то миланская. Но оно вообще не выглядит как черный, если честно.
Good day to you.
What would you like?
What do you have for sale?
Так, а воротник у меня есть, да? Только вот тут, видишь, он черный такой. Давай возьмем черный, пусть будет. Так, панский бенцент у нас есть. Точнее, бац нет. HyperX у меня есть. Так, что еще может купить? Эти вроде бы обычные черные. И не показываются, конечно. Не, обычные такие. А вот они. Блин, у него нету такого, если честно, тоже. Видишь, мне нужно вот панские какие-нибудь наручи. Может, эти взять все-таки? Эти покруче. Эти реально покруче. У меня такие же.
I'll have a look at the wares.
What can you...
Подожди-ка немножко, подожди. Ну, одинаковые они все, правильно? Ладно, пусть будет так, короче.
Acer.
Уже не изменишь.
What do you have for sale?
Thank you, sir. And come again.
Может быть, придумал. Так, тут еще броники. Давай у них посмотрим.
Tools! Iron tools!
Мне кажется, я
Welcome,
черный
sir.
наручи не
What can I
найду.
do for you?
I'll have a look at the wares.
Не, вот таких видишь, вообще ничего нет. Так, давай скинем туда все на коня. Пока что так. Пока что так. Так, а может еще где-нибудь броника, слушай, найти? Тут еще пацан продает вроде неплохие вещи. Погнали сюда, тогда сходим. Потом будем искать этого Павла. Excuse me. Мне очень не нравится, да. Вам капюшона серого. Было бы неплохо.
Ah, Henry, what are you after? Let me guess. You need to borrow some coin to pay Menhard back, eh?
Don't worry your head about it. Me and Menhard sorted things out. But thanks. Maybe I'll borrow from you sometime, since you so generously offer.
Of course. Just as long as you pay it back, so I don't have to chase you around town with a sword.
Did anyone try recently to sell you a pair of new boots? Nice high ones. Maybe a youngster?
No one like that tried to sell me boots. But a young fella came asking about an apprenticeship.
And did you take him on?
I did. Just on trial for now, though.
Aha. And where can I find him?
In the workshop at the back. But why? Is he in trouble? He seems like a decent lad.
No, he's not in trouble. I just need to have a word with him.
Go ahead then.
Опа, вроде бы мы этого Павла нашли. Так, подожди-ка.
I need something repaired.
Farewell, my friend.
Так, чинить мне ничего не надо.
What can I do for you?
Что у него можно?
Show me your wares.
Слушай, ничего такого-то и нельзя купить.
I hope
А не
you find what
поговорим
you're
с
looking
этим
for.
Павлом. Где он? О, ты пацанчик.
Henry, what are you doing here?
You weren't expecting to see me again so soon, were you?
I wasn't. That is, I'm glad to see you again, Henry.
Really? Why? So that you can explain to me why you played such a dirty trick on me?
I'm sorry, Henry. I really didn't mean to trick you.
You told me that you were going to plant the stuff on pivots and that everything would be returned afterwards.
Yeah, I told you that.
Well, then why the fuck didn't you? Why did you disappear? Why did you steal those things? Christ's sake. This way you've lost Ursula completely.
Henry, I lost her the day I was born poor. Even if pivettes didn't get her, I'd never have got her father's blessing.
So why did you ask me to steal those things?
I really thought for a while that it all made sense. After all, Pivettes is such an arsehole. But then
what?
But then I realized what a nasty thing it would be to do. Even though he is an arsehole, Pivettes didn't deserve that. And Ursula certainly didn't.
When did you change your mind?
When I went to see Ursula's father.
You wanted to ask for her hand? Even though he'd already promised her to Pivettes?
No. I just wanted to talk to him out of giving her to Pivettes. Because he's such a bastard. You know, I wanted to be sure there was no other way than the trick we thought up.
And what did he say to you?
He said he's known that long since. But he wouldn't be around for long and he didn't want Ursula to be left alone. At that moment, I realized how shameful it was. What I was doing.
Because of him?
That too. But mostly because of Ursula.
Why didn't you tell me you'd changed your mind? Why didn't you stop me?
I don't know. I suppose I was tempted by the coin I could get for those things.
So it was just the coin you were after?
Don't you understand, Henry? Without that silver, I'd never be able to leave the village or start learning a trade. I'd spend the rest of my life breaking my back for someone else as a hired hand. What kind of life is that?
Why didn't you ask for a coin?
And who'd give it to me? Don't tell me you would.
I'd give you coin. You only had to ask. It never had to go this far.
But I never believed anyone would be that generous.
What am I to do with you now? The captain at Suchdol is looking for you.
Henry, please. Tell him anything but the truth. Look, I finally got myself a decent livelihood here.
I'll have to think it over.
I hope you can find in your heart a little of God's mercy, Henry.
Ну что, все с ним, короче, понятно. Только вот не знаю, сдавать его. Ладно, погнали дальше тогда поговорим.
I apologize.
Good day to you. I'm sure you'll find... What do you need, my friend?
У тебя что-нибудь интересное есть?
I'll have a look at the wares.
Этот капюшон вроде бы интересный. Остальные так себе. Вот это можно, кстати, взять. Так, тут есть попона. Да, есть. Давай смотреть, какой мы возьмем. Я бы темную вот эту, наверное, бы взял.
I was
Давай
glad to be
возьмем,
of help
посмотрим.
to you.
Кстати, можем переодеться. попробовать. прикол, зеленые штаны видны. Блин, пойдем черный сейчас у сапожника купим. Так, а где мы? Давай посмотрим, как на тебя будет смотреться такой план.
Like a child.
Слушай, неплохо. Хорошо, реально хорошо. Звук там. Как в фильме «Черный рыцарь», когда Мартин Лоуренс попал. О, мне сюда нельзя, нифига себе не знал.
What do you have for sale?
Nothing to your liking.
А, подожди, а почему я не хотел, что мне, кстати, у него же есть. Блин, бегаю туда-сюда, непонятно зачем.
What will it be, sir?
What do you have for sale?
Ну, хотя бы
I'm
серый
glad you
пусть
found what
будет.
you were.
Так, давай сразу наденем тогда. Ну все, прикольно выглядит, в принципе, слушай. Такой вот не знаю, может капюшон все-таки снять. Блин, даже не знаю, если честно. Ладно, давай все, короче, снимем, пусть как и было, так и будет. Только можем этот капюшон, кстати, оставить. А этот дублет мы снимем. Так, погнали к Розе тогда, потому что имею эту книжку. Но роман, наверное, с ней затевать не буду. То есть у нас вроде бы есть Тереза с первой части. Мне вот просто интересно, попадем мы вообще к ней, не попадем.
Good day to you. It's greetings. What do you need?
Show me your wares.
Thank you, sir. And come again.
Зачем я сюда зашел, вообще не понял. Так, ничего не надо. Все,
Easy, good horse.
Опачки, мне назад нужен.
Whoa!
Are you just your horse?
Slowly. Nice and slow.
Two royal brothers are fighting over this kingdom. So
Let it be known that a new one-off tax is to be levied.
Whoa!
Блин, опять я не туда приехал. Просто немножко теряюсь в этом городе. Так, вот, да, вот сюда надо.
Whoa, whoa!
Не понял, что меня не пропустят, типа, или что? Что это за прикол такой интересный?
I don't know what you said to the Mint Master, but he left here looking like he'd met the Grim Reaper. May God be with you, Henry.
Прикол. Сначала было закрыто, сейчас открыто. Бред какой-то. Здесь можно осмотреться. Здесь закрыто. Фига себе, тут девушек можно найти. Главное, чтобы мне просто не засекли. Он с краденым этим. Пойди быстрее.
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favourite book? Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it? Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
Actually not.
That's too bad. I think you would like it. And perhaps even learn a thing or two.
Why do you think so?
I just think you might find some common ground with the author. Not in absolutely everything, of course. That's just not possible. But in basic matters, I believe you'd agree. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another life, I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
It sounds interesting, but I cannot tarry now. Some other time, all right?
I understand. If you did find a little time, stop by. You won't regret it.
Да понятно, что я не пожалею, но я так понял. Все идет к роману. Ладно, давай попробуем. Слушай, сейчас сохранимся. Может, там отказать будет можно. Сейчас задание продолжается.
God bless you, sir.
Что с тобой можно уже поговорить? Ты идешь и идешь тут.
So, shall we write?
Let's get started. How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both? Well, fine. And what should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
Well, being a man myself, a man, I suppose.
Why not? And what kind of a man is he?
You mean I have to think up a name?
You don't need to, but try to describe him so I can better imagine him. With a single word, even.
There've already been enough heroes, saints, kings, and martyrs. So an ordinary person.
That's 2 words, but I'll forgive you. And do you want it to be an ordinary villain or an ordinary do-gooder?
Make him a do-gooder. But he can also have some bad traits to make it believable.
Very well. And what kind?
That sounds as if you've already thought of one.
Oh, my. And not just one. But I asked first.
Yeah. Anyone's faults are easy to find.
Especially when that person doesn't even try to hide them.
And what's wrong with that? Would you prefer for people to pretend to be better than they are?
No. But putting your bad habits on display for all to see isn't great either.
Do you know anyone without faults?
Of course not. Whenever I thought that of someone, I was quickly disabused of my illusions.
Who, for example?
I don't need to look far. My father, and my brother as well, have taught me much in this vein.
What actually happened between them? I heard they had a falling out.
Venser was a hothead. He kept urging Father not to put up with insults and stand his ground. Father explained to him in vain that to respond to such provocations would give the king's people an excuse to take from us. Actually, Venser went to defend the city a bit, out of defiance. We didn't even have time to say goodbye.
Tell me more about your brother. What was he like?
I had always thought Venser was determined, brave and proud, except he was really more stubborn, short-tempered, and vain. And not a day goes by when I do not think of him. In spite of everything, he was my older brother, and I miss him.
And Kunzlin certainly also mourns for Venser.
Naturally. As a father, he lost a son. As a Ruthard, he lost his future. There's 2 reasons for mourning.
You speak as if he didn't even have a heart.
If they hadn't quarrelled, Venser might still be here today. But there's no point in going on about it. Back to work. Which bad trait did you choose?
He could be born with his foot in his mouth. I know many such. They blurt something out, and only then think about it.
That's a good idea. His mouth gets him into trouble, but in the end, also out of it. That would be a joy to write. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch, especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Have you ever seen a heron? Imitate one.
A heron? Well, maybe like this?
Как он в таких доспехах это делает, мне интересно. Там доспехи, наверное, килограмм 20 весят.
Well, now we're done.
Oh, finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. I thought you wanted to read it as soon as possible. So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
That's nice. A bit didactic, but not to the point of boring moral bludgeoning. And that's the way it should be. Sermons for ordinary people work in a similar way. They entertain and encourage, with a few lessons added in between.
You see, when I lead mass one of these days, I'll certainly think of you. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. I'd like to see you again sometime. Would you mind if I stop by?
Please do. I'll be glad. It will certainly be enlightening for both of us.
Ну и все. Погнали дальше. Шо ты, Шимик, пасть?
That's true. And what good a fortification you can't defend? I'll tell you. No fucking good at all. I didn't say I wouldn't contribute. I'm not giving
Дополнительных и так мало осталось, как-нибудь потом выполнить. Уже как-то хочется пройти игру. Интересно, что там дальше будет.
I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right, go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Сейчас будем договариваться об этой встрече. Блин, на втором этаже, что ли?
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly, and I reckon you can help me.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Sigismund's just a usurper. Wenceslas is the only true Bohemian king.
Singing Ruthard's song, eh? I might have known. Speak then. What do you want? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
And how about a few groschen to seal our fruitful relationship?
You're worse than a horse dealer. Have it your way, then. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. but I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Да. Ладно, пошли искать этого парнишку. Интересно, как его наряд на меня наденет. Так, хорошо, куда нам надо идти? Понятненько.
Easy, easy. Nice and slow.
My.
A stone's throw from the city wall. Many years have passed.
Что там за дела такие? Почему за мной стражи охотятся? А, ну я же... Заметил. Так, кого тут искать? Добыть наряд.
Quality goods, the far.
Так, обычный
Come
торговка.
and take a gander. We've got it all. What do you need?
Интересно.
Where it don't belong.
It happens.
Где этот портной находится?
Just watch where you're going next time.
Давай искать тогда.
Pouches, belts, straps. Sheet metal, chains here, iron and steel.
Good day to you. What would you like?
I'll have a look at the wares.
Понятно, мне, наверное, придется покупать. Ну, что сделать? Ничего не сделаешь.
Huh? Nothing to your liking, sir?
The best wares on the market.
Beautiful
Come
colours.
and take a look.
What would you like, friend?
Show me your wares.
Так, что у него есть? Я смотрел или нет? А, ну да, я смотрел, у него ничего не будет такого.
I hear one Franta cooldown is supposed to come and pick up new clothes from you.
You're too late. Franta already came and picked up the goods. You just missed him.
Have a
Pouches.
Что мне делать?
Was für ein Scheiß.
Блин, странно это все, если честно. Добыть наряд, и что тут еще? А, еще и грамоту, да? Так, а где мне этот наряд найти? Вот в чем вопрос. Задание это не показывается. Что за дела? Тут же было закрыто, не знаю, что здесь.
Greetings. What do you want?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pictures so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to him as a waiter?
Well, it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it, so I have to be incognito. See?
I see. All right, then. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Well, to tell the truth, I'm not exactly an expert.
You're off to a great start, but whatever. If you make a mess of it and the king has you whipped, you've no one to blame but yourself. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not. Take care for now.
Это было не так сложно.
Come and take your pick. New wares.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here.
We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on.
So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. There is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap, and you don't have one at all. Without a tunic, you're no royal waiter, just a common alehouse boy. And have you forgotten your hose? I can't let you into the chamber without them. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. The royal waiter's livery has strict rules. So get changed quick and come back on time.
Все понятно, я думал, так можно будет потом переодеться. Ну давай, так, где это у нас? Шапочка. Все.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have.
Блин, оружие
Hose are
забыл
good.
взять.
It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something?
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Our current
There are
Waffen
the pictures of
arsenal
wine.
is a joke. And on top
Hopefully
of that,
I won't
the
splash
army
it.
You
was
there,
requisitioned
lad.
from it.
A cup of red.
Should the town
And don't you
reserve
skip
have
on
worse weapons than any
I
räuber in the
apologise, sir.
domain?
What
Which
are
one?
you getting
Monastery
at, Elvis?
red.
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher.
Подожди, да я его возьму.
Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
Good, sir.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they
Thank
had
you,
them,
waiter.
Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
Так, официантом подрабатываем.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten
I'd like
this
some
is.
monastery wine. Refill
the
my
Dry
cup,
Devil
boy.
is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army
I'd like to
bearing
oblige,
down, and
but
you want to
I'm not
defend
allowed.
yourselves.
This is
With a
unbelievable.
few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight,
И
exactly?
ему нельзя пить.
The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he has you?
some Tokai.
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap
I
in the
apologise,
kingdom,
sir.
and we're supposed
wine?
to defend
Are you
it with
colourblind?
brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the Yemeli
Sir?
state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of
Well,
it as well.
thank the
Maybe
Lord.
if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise
Блин, я
against
просто не замечаю, если
He'll take
честно,
the
кто
arming
просит.
of the city's militia as a
Я не
preparation
понимаю.
for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state
Pour
of
me
the
some
public
monastery
baths.
wine.
You mean
That's not a
baths
good
or
idea, sir.
brothels?
This is unbelievable.
Isn't it the same thing?
Блин, он меня заговорил случайно. Что я хотел сказать?
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the
More wine,
citizens' needs.
Master Bailiff.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink and wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
She's a protege of Maresh.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Where can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right back with it, understood?
Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important. But we do.
So, did you find it?
Надеюсь, ничего не будет.
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
Trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree.
Слушай, он же может меня оставить спокойно.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least until His Majesty honors us with his
Pour
visit.
me some monastery
and as
wine.
we know, Gunslin absolutely
I
hates
apologize,
him.
sir. He can hate
Which
all he
one?
wants, as
Monastery
long as he
red.
does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that.
Well, thank
Just
the
a
Lord.
small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending
Oi,
Rutard?
I'd like some white.
If his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this
Sir?
case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it.
Thank you, waiter.
I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him,
waiter.
and soon.
Pour me some monastery
Unless he
wine.
puts an end to us first. God
I apologise,
knows
sir.
what he wants to tell us.
Which wine?
If nothing
Red.
happened, there's
Am I
no
speaking
point in
in
dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I have
Sir?
the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you
Well,
accusing
thank
me
the
of
Lord.
lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened?
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Ruthard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts.
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom
a full cup
to us.
of monastery
that German
wine.
Menhard is just hanging around the market looking for trouble.
Don't be ridiculous, Forsooker. You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse a swordsmaster...
Don't hang
without a
around
shred
me.
of proof.
Vanish, you hear me?
We're not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff.
word.
And that's that. There are
Refill,
more
sir.
pressing matters
Do you
to
think
deal
I'll come
with.
to the council
More
just to guzzle
pressing than
wine?
the
Come
open
here.
contempt of the whole town
I
garrison.
apologize.
The guards are...
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
I'd soon be out of customers.
Ah, the hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this.
Так, где его перчатки? То сейчас этот король придет, вообще все потеряем.
That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
Те фигуры с крыльями. Понял прикол? Раз, два, три, четыре, пять, шесть, семь. А я фигней занимаюсь. Все отстанет от меня с этим.
So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
I counted 16, sir.
And did you count all the monsters and animals?
Oh, I thought you meant only the angels.
Go back to serving wine, blockhead.
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to make a oil mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in the city under siege?
Besides,
Boy!
I get the feeling
Where
there's
is
something
my
other
white?
than the welfare of the city
Sir?
behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
When hell freezes over, my friend, your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me?
Waiter,
You wanted to buy yourself
pour me
an
red
altar
wine.
in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our
Sir?
guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Good. Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it
Boy,
has all
I'd like some
been
white.
sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Boy, are you deaf or something? Wine!
White!
Thank you, waiter.
Наконец-то.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
А вот он может меня, кстати, узнать, и это будет очень проблемно. Что если Лысый меня узнает, нам хана.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Unlike this plan of fights!
Да, скоро будет, кстати, то нападение, наверное. Мне кажется.
Come now, father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Gutenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malachov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Так, надо, получается, и тут со всеми разговаривать. Там я подносил вина. Тут будем...
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word.
Certainly.
Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways. You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Все понятно. Говорить нельзя. Интересно. С Йостом тоже нельзя поговорить.
Mark my words, they'll be at each other's throats.
What else would you expect? It's a matter of property and life or death.
Понятно, только по заданию.
The king of Hungary is quite a different matter than riding out with a company.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Вот этого я немножко не понял. Вроде бы читал, а не понял. Ладно, потом где-нибудь на просторах интернета узнаем.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botchek of Kunstadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her, and that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome, because it would mean slow but certain defeat for all of us.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
Так, они, надеюсь, тут все, да?
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even... I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Alder.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
Это его батя, получается.
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame, as always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us.
Прикол,
We'll
это
just settle
получается его
a
брат,
very
да?
private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back. Not bad for a priest.
Aim with your whole arm,
Надеюсь,
not
он
just
сдаст.
your wrist. Cover your right side.
Not
You've
bad
got
for
a
a
gap
priest.
there I can drive a cart through.
А ё-моё, получил немножко.
What's wrong with your legs?
Not bad for a priest.
Arm lower.
Всё, давай, сдавайся.
What the fuck was that?
Stand firm.
Who told you
Otherwise, the
that?
first strike will put you on your arse.
Если держится хорошо.
Look in my eyes, not at my sword. You don't know which end of that thing is.
Hey, who told you that?
Кстати, мне такой капюшон нужен, где его найти?
Not bad
Всё,
for a priest.
сдавайся, алло.
Enough. That will do.
Наконец-то.
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, He let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
Do I have any choice?
If it's really that important, you don't.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Так вы и есть, братья, только мы сводные. Так, хорошо. Еще поговорить можно.
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some sensible conversation. Unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again. Let's hope he'll take better care of himself now.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his for a while. But if not, war will make a man of him soon enough.
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one, not just sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
To turn out well for whose benefit, though? Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood, so others can live in freedom.
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And in the meanwhile, help the former to keep their losses to a minimum.
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg nobles?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal mines, they were born with silver spoons up their asses. And they think that can turn their blood blue.
But surely they're not all like that. And they are our allies.
Allies or not, someone ought to show them their place.
Godwin, you wouldn't be avoiding me. We didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. Praise the Lord! I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path.
I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest. What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
Ну, короче, все понятно.
Take a look at that.
Поговоришь. А интересно, где Жишка? С ним еще можно поговорить? Ну, я так понял, мы идем назад. Договариваться.
Quite unusual to see him cornered like this.
He's setting the stage for his rival.
She's wondering if great. That's exactly why we mustn't push too hard.
You seem a bit out of sorts. Anything wrong?
Oh, these grand aristocratic assemblies are nothing for me. I'd be happier if they just told me in the morning how it all went and what my boys have to do next.
But then you'd miss all the grub and the booze, and the gossip.
Oh, and have you heard anything interesting here?
A lot of people think the wealthy burghers will stick with Sigismund, whether out of fear or convenience.
Well, that's to be expected. As long as Sigismund has the city council under his thumb, no one will rock the boat.
Well, at least there's a few individuals here, like Ruthard.
Sigismund confiscated his castle and half his estates. That'd be enough to make a man mad. Not to mention that his son was killed in the siege of the city.
Let's hope young Lord Capon manages to stay free for a while longer. Ever since leaving Rattay, he's gone from one pile of trouble to another.
That's one thing you can always count on him for. I'll gladly wager with you he'll end up in some other shit by evening.
God forbid. Henry's not here now to pull him out of it.
In that case, it'll be up to you. I'm sure you wouldn't leave him to disgrace himself in front of Hanush.
It seems Liechtenstein's looking for allies. For his own ends.
And how's he gonna do it? Didn't you see them all fighting tooth and nail here just a while ago?
Well, different approaches work with different people.
The only approach that'll work with Sigismund is open resistance. Maybe on the field of battle?
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Jobst comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Ruthard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our alliance.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Блин, может зря это сделал, слушай.
Greetings. Brought me with you, friend.
Еще расскажем тогда.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Да, это жестко, конечно.
Cheers! Cheers to you! And to your parlaying skills!
Уж зря его сказал. Ну ладно, фиг с ним. Чтобы разумиться.
Exactly why we must...
Sir Bocek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstadt.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
Блин, типа тачка, если честно. Что сказать ему? Так, с кем еще говорить нужно?
Sir, I don't believe I've had the honor.
Nor I, until now. I am Sir Conrad, Lord of Wächter. And you are the heir to the Lord of Rabosh, are you not?
Used to be. My father somewhat disowned me some time ago.
And I used to be the Royal Mint Master, until the king decided to replace me.
You're seeing this.
Are you going to support the Margrave's proposal?
I haven't quite decided yet. It's true that displeasure against the king is noticeably growing in Kuttenberg, but if our rebellion were to come face to face with Sigismund's army, I'd be risking my future, if not my life.
We've got quite a bit in common, wouldn't you say?
More than you think. If my memory doesn't deceive me, you serve as a parish priest. So I recollect, at least, from my recent discussions with Martin.
Served.
That's in the past.
Even so. Before King Wenceslas appointed me his mint master, I was a priest. I was even being groomed to become a bishop.
And now look at us. We have cast off our robes and merrily hatched plots against Sigismund.
There's no point in waiting for divine intervention. On the contrary, the current state of affairs demands quite a secular approach.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
Что у нас? Погреб обычный. Что, с кем еще поговорить нужно? С кем? Шли наверх. Обрадовать птачка или
I've got some good news and some bad news for you.
The bad news is there's hardly any females in this whole damned place. There's some old bat standing there with 2 young girls, but she watches over them like a mother hen. So at least tell me the good news.
You're going to get married.
Good one. Is she at least pretty?
I don't know. I've never seen her.
You're really a barrel of laughs, Godwin. Wait till Hannah hears this. Now, enough nonsense. Let's have a drink to your health and my freedom.
To your health. Everything all right? You look a bit out of sorts.
I can't wait for it to end so we can get out of here.
Would you tell me something about your community? I haven't found out much so far.
What can I tell you? It was never exactly glorious. And now especially, everyone is quaking that what is still left to us will be taken away.
Surely it won't be that bad.
There are many fools who would rather take out their gall on us and start to fight among themselves. In times of uncertainty, it is always the sons of Israel who are the first to be stricken.
I reckon you'd have to be pretty brave to come and mingle with the Kuttenberg lords.
Or pretty pissed off.
Or that.
We will leave as soon as we can. Anyway, all of these worthy gentlemen will be relieved when we are out of sight.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein is behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. But they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
You manage large estates. In return for your generosity, we offer you protection.
I've managed quite well up to now, taking care of my own resources. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Harmon Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Понятненько, короче. Странный тут, конечно, немножко все. Заговор. Всегда раньше такие были. Следит за всем.
My goodness, friend. You're completely sloshed.
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really. What of it?
Shall we roll some dice? I'm sure you can take a little breather, eh?
Well, all right. But just for a little while. I'll wait at the table over there.
Отлично, сейчас все сделаю. Все отлично. Куда он ушел, кстати? Давай сыграем с ним. Если что, не заподозрил.
Come on then, show us what you can do. Unless you're playing for the first time.
Блин, давно не играл, кстати, в эти кости. Что тут у нас? О, отлично. Гаси.
All right, that'll do. Here. Like this.
Что-то ему слишком везет, если
Oh,
честно.
come on!
Это все. Так, что мне выпадет, интересно? Блин. Пятерку брать. Если бы 3 пятерки выпало, было бы неплохо. Нифига себе. У него везучие карты, если честно.
Good game, friend. The money's yours.
Все, давай.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Все, вроде со всеми договорились.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
Yes! The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Тут точно жесткач происходит. Я-то один. Там все свои были. Капец, а зачем ты шляпу снял? Тебя же узнает этот
After we
лысый.
conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein. To do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see? All you have to do is make sure the city rabble get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place.
Давай послушаем, о
You
чем они
suffered their
говорят вообще.
insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries?
Кажется,
They
Берг
cannot be
придет,
relied upon.
если он хочет еще с
And
кем-то
we are no closer
переговорить.
to our goal now
А он
than a few
точно меня
months ago.
может узнать. Этот там может не помнит, потому что сколько
It is a
прошло
good
уже.
year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret.
Ему надо наливать?
And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Raposh. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can
Блин,
handle
получается сейчас
Rabosh will be
пан
yours.
этот Берков будет
After all,
атаковать,
Otto
наверное,
has
тот
already
замок.
got Malishov.
А
I
эти же
appreciate
уехали
your
все.
confidence, sire.
Они не успеют,
But the
наверное,
devil
войско
knows there are a
собрать.
lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly. If Raposh falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
In full armor. And I will chop.
How'd you like a wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if you'd only known he had a real connoisseur here.
Best barrels! Mon ami, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. For that, the taste is of little consequence. Give me 100 knights.
When those two girls came.
Now we close our doors for the evening. People here know what to do. There'll be plenty.
You in need of something, my wild friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
Да, прикол, еще и тут задание выполняется.
I thought your Aliska was brown going on around it.
What does it matter? Oh, twat. I love my like a queen.
If the queen did this...
But you're right about Sigismund.
The sooner life returns to this country. Let's drink to that.
Come on, finished?
Pull up your skirt, and I'll be done.
Forget it.
When it comes to affairs of state, he splashes out like there's no
Так, где это упоминается?
At least you can swim. I drown.
Out, or I might throw up all over your shoes.
Да ну нафиг. Наверное, в подвале каком-то.
No use at all for battle.
Кто это сделал?
Ah, you're wrong. In a battle,
ну
your
нафиг.
life depends on your steed.
Так, надо в погреб, наверное, спуститься. Кажется, тут где-то. Тут и видно.
The rat'll be good, I hope.
Да, думаю, подойдет. А, это он, короче, пердует.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rudard. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of your fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Погнали быстрее.
Can't make it on his own.
Good! But he's still standing! You got it!
Все, минус один.
Step back! Stand your ground!
Didn't see that coming, eh?
Let him out!
Are you waiting for orders from your wife? Fight!
You never know they're coming! Right! Find those horses out! I'll hack you! Hey, get Bleeding like a stuck pig! Come on! Stop! Think you're back to me, We'll kick your ass!
Go!
Ну что, вроде бы все, да? Так мы и должны были Одетый быть. Ладно, что еще мне? Давай меч, пусть будет тоже второй. Ручница пусть будет. Ну что, поехали, я готов. Погнали, быстрее поможем. Момент-то хороший.
It's a wonder you're still standing. You're not up to it. I'll kill you.
Насадил ничего.
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Fuck me. Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get... Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Conrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother.
But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. Nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Well, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I wouldn't give up on the fucker either.
We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghow took them.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
Markvart bragged about it to Sigismund, and Sigismund promised to make him Lord of Raborsh in return.
When he sees what von Berghow did with it, he'll shit himself.
You find that funny? Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat. Trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund.
Well, are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
You want to give up now?
Nobody said anything about giving up. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
What am I supposed to do? Can I help somehow?
You've done enough, don't you think?
And I'm sure Liechtenstein can't wait to find out what was discussed at the city council.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies.
We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too.
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know.
Punishing them like this. God's punishment or not, they brought it upon themselves.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Owlet surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
Блин, заново не хочется начинать, если честно.
What will happen to his lordship
Мне интересно, я мог спасти или нет?
We have to take care of young Sir Christopher and hope his father
Так,
comes
давай
back soon.
сохранимся. Сохранимся, тут я загружу. И посмотрю, что можно сделать. Если ничего нельзя сделать, то я вернусь к этому сохранению.
Yes.
Так, посмотрел я, короче, в том сохранении. Да, там только можно спасти брата. Ну, хорошо, что хотя бы его спасли. Так, ладно, пойдем поговорим с этим Самуэлем.
I don't think any of us expected that.
Я тут всех
You did. But I still insist that...
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us. Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. but now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
Let's not waste time.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course. I borrowed it too, if you know what I mean, but,
Could you stop blabbering already? We don't have the time.
Easy, Ingele. And you, sir, if you can, come with us and help us.
All right. But could you please tell me what the fuck is going on?
I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course.
Let's go then.
Barak atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech ha'olam.
Так, давайте тогда это все продолжим в следующей серии.